So I joined the course, and the course was actually a savior for me. Everything is well structured. You just have to listen in the class. What happened was that I felt underconfident. Sir has specific techniques for specific portion of syllabus. I think that is the biggest plus point. My name is Divyanshu. This is my third means, and this is my first attempt with anthropology option. I had a different option before this, and I have joined Sir's course for this year's 2024 attempt, the anthropology option course. Coming to my journey in UPSC, I just have to give some background. So I had taken a commerce and accountancy option before, and it was not helping me out too much. So my friend says, and anthropology was always a subject of interest to me. So like people told me that, it's a good scoring subject, and it is, definitely it is. So I switched to that. What happened was that in 2023, I was able to clear the prelims paper. And I had some time, and I was like, okay, good for me. Now I have time to prepare for anthropology option. So when I started preparing, I did come across all the standard sources. You have all those, so anthropology option, you have a lot of material definitely there. Because so many toppers have given. Akshay Jain sir is there, Mandapatki sir. So all of them have given proper resources to study. So, and you have your good online resources also. But the problem that comes is that, there are a lot of gaps if you just think about it, which will take you a long time to fill. That's the main point I'm getting to. Because what happens that, when you start something like social culture, at least for people like me, who, have an issue with, consolidating material. And, so it becomes a big problem. And I face the same problem because I was able to, try to, get my notes down, try to make my notes. But the process was too heavy in terms of my investment. And also that, the direction that you go to. Because for say, if you look at the anthropology paper 1, the questions are pretty dynamic. You don't get those papers as standard sources. Like I think in 2020, I don't remember the year back then, the Jane Goodall question is there. And last year they are the Appadharai question for 20 marker. Even this year's paper, if you look at the question, then they're not something that just to normally read and you can answer those questions. It needs solid backing and very, very strong foundation. So I thought I'll be able to do this self-preparation, but I just felt that there are a lot of gaps. And the biggest gap here was also that covering the whole syllabus in a very holistic manner. So another example I have to give that let's say in religion, there's a topic called myths and rituals. If you search myths and rituals normally, then you will take a long time to gather the material properly, and you will not find it because I didn't find it. I searched everywhere. So at least for me, I didn't find it, and it took it was an issue definitely for me. So there's some level of and because of these gaps, right? At least for me, what happened was that I felt underconfident. See what happens in UPSC prep. You can go like a hero. In the initial attempts, I've done everything I can. But the point is, in later attempt, you realize you can't. You need some definite confidence in yourself, right? Because prelims is getting dicier and dicier every single year. You just cannot depend on I'll be writing means. No, it's becoming too dicey. So you have one shot. Let's just assume you have 2 shots in those 6 items, maybe 3 shots also. Because then you do feel the pressure, and you don't want to go with that. Okay, maybe I could have done more, right? That's the feeling that you have to go with, and I felt that I'm not up to the mark right now in anthropology, especially the basic content. So I felt that I cleared prelims in 2024, and then I reached out to Sir. I had already joined his GS program, and I joined the anthropology course also because I genuinely need that help. Because I don't think I was covering all the bases. So I joined the course, and the course was actually a savior for me because so coming to the positive side of the course, right? As a student, general student, right? So the number one thing is that the Sir is first of all is online, completely online, and the lecture recorded. So I took a module, let's say biology, biological anthropology, and just watched them at 1.5x in a very relaxed manner. Everything got done in 1 week, tops, max. Whole thing, and that too with proper concepts and clarity. The second big thing about the course is that sir gives you sheets, worksheets to go with. So you don't have to, make your own notes also, right? You save a lot of time there. Everything is well structured. You just have to listen in the class, take those handouts, and just fill in the blank that sir gives you in the classroom. So you save a lot of time. So, you're basically trying to understand anthropology, and your energy shift is from information noting down to understanding the concepts more and more. So you're able to do this in a very efficient manner. The third thing is that the course has a lot of material that you won't find anywhere else. I have been trying to because I used to search for a lot of things in the that 4 to 5 month gap that I had initially. So I thought I'm the boss in everything, because I'm writing this, I'm writing that, but everyone is doing the same thing, right? Because nobody goes 4 to 5 6 more than 6 Google searches. Everyone lands on the same resources. But if you don't believe me, you can ask your friends also. You think you come across a crazy ass scholar or something very unique, but you find the same thing in each and every paper. I can guarantee this to you right now. There's no difference at all. Very hard to differentiate yourself. Definitely, everyone is no one is here to time pass. Everyone is putting extreme amount of hard work, and there's no uniqueness if you think about it. The information is limited. So, but in this course, I definitely did find very, very different perspectives, and something that maybe it would have taken me years to get those things in a well-structured manner. So definitely very different. And third is that the conceptual clarity of the course is very good, because I think sir spends around 20 lectures on biological anthropology. I mean, everyone thinks that they know the subject properly, but they don't, because when you go inside those things, the concept too minute. I'm pretty sure that you guys might have still some question into meiosis, mitosis. But even I had after completing the whole system also. So you will be definitely there. Even if you know the concept, it won't be maybe you can attach a very good or great answer to that also. So these things are definitely there. And the biggest perspective of the course is that that it covers it in a very structured manner. Very structured. For example, I remember that I still remember that that socioculture part, the marriage definition, sir, gives different perspective in each and everything, and it's very easy to internalize those stuff. For example, that I still remember that George Peter Murdoch definition, right? So sir gives Kathleen Gog, sir gives the definition, George Peter Murdoch, and then sir basically says give just in the definition itself, just give counter perspectives. I remember that George Peter Murdoch involved that maybe I think I'm not very well now, and I forgot all these things, but I think that you have those points of union between two persons, right? And then you have so these things where you can give perspectives of maybe the current situation of maybe, and there's economic cohabitation, all these things are there. Economic cooperation, residential cohabitation. These points are there, mentioned by George Peter Murdoch. So, just write opposite that. For economic cooperation, sir, give it, example of your Philippine and, women, which they do not stay with the husbands. So, does that come under the definition of marriage, right? And you have same-sex marriage definition again, between two women, a man and woman. George Peter Murdoch took a man and woman, but in reality, that's not the case anymore right now. So even in modern society, so it's a very well structured course. You will the cognitive load that you have to use is very less, and that has because these things stay in your mind. You just have to remember this definition, and just have to go with the flow. You don't have to think too much or mug up too much. It's given to you in that perspective. And another thing that the complex topics in the syllabus are covered very naturally. For example, I remember that that myths and rituals part in religion. That was covered by sir very well, because I didn't find that anywhere. I'm so dead that what should I write in this question? So in the course are given very properly different perspectives. E.B. Tyler's perspective is there. And then sir gave that James Fraser perspective also. The primacy of rituals were a part, which you'll find in the course if you join it. So it opens the mind, and then you have Manos's perspective also. So these perspectives, you maybe you know them, maybe you don't know them, right? I didn't know them. So it was fed to me in a very structured manner. Yeah, so that's what I think. These things are definitely which will help you across all these areas. And of course, like you have those gaps which are well, you leave it to the pro, because something on the lines of, let's say, primates or fossils. If you think about this, they're actually huge topics. It may seem easy to you, but if you do justice to these topics, it's very hard, right? And the kind of question that they're asking also, it needs that amount of justice also. You need to understand that you cannot just write anything in terms of let's say in Neanderthal, or maybe Homo erectus also. You need to understand perspectives and the skull diagrams, right? The diagram should be what is given, and sir has a proper repository, like official repository, like I don't know where he got it from, but like a proper repository of diagrams and everything. So exact scientific back diagrams and everything is there. So this gives you that extra confidence also, which you won't get from maybe other courses. And I found it very helpful. And fossils part was definitely very, very engaging, because sir gives very different perspectives also. For Cro-Magnon, I never knew like Cro-Magnon. Okay, like like then you understand the EMH, AMH. These things you will learn eventually if you these things. Maybe you are used to this, but I wasn't well versed with these things. So this got me to that level. Where I'm able to understand that in a long-term perspective, right? I can mug up that before an exam and go and write these things. But can you understand what is happening, right? What is happening in the anthropology world? That is where you'll get that extra edge, because in the end, rote learning will only get you to a certain place, because that won't work. And the kind of question that is asking exams, it needs like a good understanding. It reduces your cognitive load in the end, because if you go and muck up, and it will be very burdensome on you. So there's no point. So these things generally help me. And specifically even in paper 2 also, that tribal part, like the definition of D.N. Majumdar for tribes, and of course there are so many codes also. The biggest plus point is that there are, so like suppose sir give you information, that everyone has information, but are you able to learn it, right? Biggest factor. People are not able to, obviously there's some mugging up. So sir has specific techniques or specific portion of syllabus. I think that is the biggest plus point. Sir has these codes, these code names. I find it so difficult to learn so many definitions, but I was able to, because sir has these specific codes. I mean I have that let's have fun. There's a code called let's have fun for the tribe definition by D.N. Majumdar. So it just made it very easier. In the exam, if you mug up the definition, right, you'll miss some points. But if you remember this mnemonics, it'll become very easy for you guys to remember. So these small things are very important, because in the exam, once you come near the deadline, right, the translation of knowledge is important. You remember initially, right, if you study these things, agreed. But once you come closer, when the revision time is compressed into 1-2 hours, right, then your understanding and then your internal knowledge comes, and everything goes to other places. So these small it's in pieces, how you feed information in your brain, the way information is fed, that is very important, because it will go into long-term memory. And the course is structured that way, right? So if you're able to properly engage with the course in a good manner, you put in those hours needed, and then you write. And sir, in the course, I mean there's a lot of writing involved, definitely. So even so even I found it why am I writing so much? But it is what it is. And so yeah, and then you're able to understand, okay, this is what it is. Okay, these are dimensions I have to open up. In theories part, very important. In course that maybe sir made us go through so many different perspectives. I never knew about mythologics question about sir. It came in the test series also, but sir mentions about Levi-Strauss works on myths, and this year I have the same question on Levi-Strauss myths wala question number 6 part C. So these things come up again, and even postmodernism sir concentrated heavily on the course. Jacques Derrida question came again straight. So it's a good deep dive into anthropology, and in a very timely and well structured manner, definitely. And the biggest alpha or advantage, alpha is the term used for stick. stock market gain, so I use alpha. So basically what happens that, people don't know about this course yet. Everyone has the same resources, everyone, so in this course you'll definitely find that extra edge because the information is different, and the fact is that uniqueness is what will drive your score higher. Everyone will add the same thing, so this will also give you the extra edge. So I think in terms of the quality content, the structure of the content, the guidance, and authenticity, I think this course will check all these broad areas perfectly. And if you want to have a good ratio of anthropology, I think you should go for this course definitely. Personally, I feel because I benefited a lot from this course.